Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. Today we are going to continue with what we were talking about yesterday with text features. And if you can remember, I want you to stop and think, what is a feature? Stop and think about that. If somebody's around or your parents are around, tell them what you remember about a feature. So the feature is the most important part or component of something. Okay, so we talked about what are the most important features of our face. Okay, we said our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our chin. Okay, those are all important things. And so when it comes to books, what are the most important features of a book? Okay, and so we talked about text features, and we said lots of different text features. So I want you to stop and think. Let's recall, what were some of those text features we talked about yesterday? So think about it. Think about it a little bit more. Good thing you're not in class, right? Because I'd be calling on you. Okay, so hopefully you said titles, you said headings, we talked about subtitles, we talked about photographs, illustrations, bold, italics, and then we talked about maps and timelines and glossary and indexes and all these different things that visually help us in our reading, okay? So today I've pulled up an article called Wild, Wild Weather. Now, if you have your packet with you, okay, one of the things on the calendar today says optional, which would be highly beneficial for practice, is to find a book to see if you can find the different text features that are labeled here on the side. So I highly recommend you do that, okay? If you don't have books at home or articles, you can look it up online. You can do anything you would like. Instead of putting the page number, you can actually write, if it's an article, what the table of contents, just tell me where it is or where it was or something on it. For headings, tell me what the heading was or something about it in the notes, okay? Maybe the heading was one word. Maybe the heading was a question. For subheadings, yes, there was a subheading. And remember, all stories and books are not going to have every single text feature, so you don't have to find every single one, okay? But this is just practice for you as you begin to learn and to try to find where these text features are, okay? So before you do that on your own or with your mom or dad or brother or sister, I want to let's go over this a little bit. So look at this worksheet called Wild, Wild Weather. So automatically, what do you see at the very, very top? Wild, Wild Weather. What is that called? What text feature is that? Hopefully you said it's the title. That is the title of the article. And you notice the title of the article is in what? What do you notice? Should notice that it is in bold, right? Okay. So actually, this gives me just instructions of what to do. Okay. So remember, text features help a reader navigate the text. They give more information about the text. So for examples, illustrations, photographs, captions, maps, charts, graphs, headings, table of contents, sidebars. Those are all different types of important text features. Okay. So let's look right here automatically, and I know our eyes always go to these first. Would this be a photograph or would this be an illustration? Now remember, photographs are pictures taken by a photographer in real life. Illustrations are pictures that are drawn by what's called an illustrator. So hopefully you said this is a photograph. So this is a photograph, and underneath the photograph, what is that called right there? Do you remember? What tells me or explains what the picture is about? A caption, okay? So the caption says, usually a tornado is in the form of a funnel shape. Sometimes it looks like a rope, okay? Thank goodness we don't get a lot of tornadoes around here, right? Because that thing looks pretty wicked. So this just tells me, again, we're talking about we're talking about wild weather. Okay, and so as I'm beginning to read, I'm going to see more of this tornado. It's probably going to help explain what I'm reading about. So it says, it's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Have you ever heard that song? It is a famous tune about the weather. Weather is something that affects all of us daily. Extreme weather is something that affects most people only a few times in their lives. Extreme weather includes flooding rains, tornadoes, blizzards, and hurricanes. People study weather so they can inform us. These are the people who give us the information we need so that we can remain safe in the case of extreme weather. Okay, now when I continue reading right here in this, again, we have bold, right? Bold is darker writing. Do you remember what that's called? It's going to help me understand the next paragraph. What is that called? Hopefully you said a heading. Okay, this is a heading. So the next heading is tornadoes. So now I'm automatically starting to think what? Oh, I'm going to be reading about tornadoes. And now I've already seen a what? A picture. So I can go back up here and look at my picture after I read. Okay, and so tornadoes. A tornado is a storm that can cause destruction in its path. Winds can reach up to 300 miles per hour. Tornadoes form from thunderstorms. They are most common in an area of the United States called Tornado Alley. This area is where many tornadoes form because of the way the air moves. Cool, dry air from the north and warm, moist air from the south meet. This causes thunderstorms, which can become severe. When the atmosphere is not stable, the winds can increase and produce what's called a tornado. Okay, now let's look at some other text features that we have. Okay, if you look here, we have a map. Again, this is a graphic organizer or a graphic display that helps me understand. So if I look here, okay, it's talking about Tornado Alley, which is what we just read about. And see this darkened area right here? Yep, so that would be Tornado Alley. So now I can visually see, okay, where you would have to live in Tornado Alley, all right? And then we have a tornado funnel, okay? So this is another graphic aid. This is more of a drawing, okay? So an illustration of what a tornado funnel looks like. And remember, I told you that graphic aids, not eggs, actually have labeling in it. So look, this actually has labeling. So it shows you where the cumulonimbus cloud is, where the spiral updraft is, a funnel cloud, and then the spiral inflow, okay? And then the next heading would be then what? Look, water spouts, okay? So then that's going to go on to teach you or to, you're going to read about water spouts, okay? And then down here is just lots of different questions that you can get. But all these text features help me better understand about tornadoes. I'm seeing a picture. I'm seeing a map. I'm seeing a drawing, an illustration of what the funnel looks like. I have headings that help me start to think about those things. I have bold that draws my attention to it. And then on top of the text, which are the words that are really going to help draw it together so I can understand when I'm finished reading this passage what wild, wild weather is and more information on tornadoes. Okay? So that's just a recap, a review of text features. Okay, today on your own, okay, you're going to do the worksheet called Yellowstone National Park. It's a text features worksheet where you get to practice and you get to answer some questions. So read carefully, look at those text features very carefully so you can understand more about Yellowstone National Park. Okay, miss you guys. Have a wonderful day.